Hello everybody and welcome to Cinema Savvy. It is myself George and today I bring you a brand new movie review. This is of course on the new Michael Bay film titled Ambulance, now out in the United Kingdom and a few other countries and coming out in America on April the 8th, a couple of weeks away. And I'm going to give some spoiler-free thoughts on it as much as I can do spoiler-free thoughts on a Michael Bay action film, which is obviously what you know you're going to be listening and hearing about because it's Michael Bay. You don't need to expect anything else from him, but I'm going to go into all of that and my thoughts on the film very shortly. But before I do want to ask anybody in the comments, let me know your thoughts on Ambulance. Have you seen this film? Have you been able to catch it at the cinema? Have you even seen it at the IMAX? Or are you waiting for it to come out in the States and are you thinking, am I going to be watching Sonic? Am I going to be watching Ambulance? Am I going to be watching Fantastic Beasts? There's a lot of films coming out in April. It's a pretty stacked month, so it's going to be really interesting to see how this film does do. So please do comment below and hit that subscribe button. We're working towards a lot of goals. And we've got a mega series starting up this Tuesday, which is, of course, the Steven Spielberg retrospective. The Oscars live broadcast is tomorrow night / Monday morning as well. There's a lot of things happening on the channel, so please do subscribe. It does really help. And also, we like talking movies on this channel, and we've got a lot more stuff on the way for you as well. And if you are wondering why this review is so sudden, why wasn't it hyped up, obviously we announce a lot of our videos on our social medias as and when. That is Twitter at cinema_savvy, Facebook and letterboxd.com/cinemasavvy. But I'm going to really get into this film now because this is a film that a week ago, 10 days ago, I'm not going to lie, I didn't even know this film was coming out. I hadn't seen a trailer for it. I'd seen a couple of, I think, posters. I'd seen a few people talking about it. I'd seen this video last year, I think, from a stunt gone wrong, or, wow, I say gone wrong, it was more of a cinematography thing where people saw a behind-the-scenes stunt for the very first time. It was a very close shave I want to add as well. So the background to Ambulance is me knowing nothing, and obviously what I've read tonight is that this was a foreign film, I think Swedish film in the mid-noughties maybe, and for whatever reason Universal had the rights to it, it never got made, and the chance came for Michael Bay to make a film during COVID, sorry, and this is what he went to do. He didn't watch the original, he didn't know anything about it essentially, he didn't write it, he didn't read it, the screenplay for the original, he didn't obviously watch the original film. He wanted to do his own take, which I admire because, you know, when you go in for a 2 hour 15-minute Michael Bay film, which ironically is shorter than a few of his more recent Transformer films, it is quite an incredible achievement for him. I think at this point in time in the 2020s that Bayhem is still thriving, and I'm really just going to get into this film is going to be an absolute hype train for any Michael Bay fans out there. Very different to some of his films, and Jed, who used on our channel before, he tweeted me the other day saying that this film is his best ever action film, even better than The Rock, he said, which suddenly I had estimations. Again, I didn't know much about this. I knew the fact that Jake Gyllenhaal was in this cast, Yahya Abdul-Mateen was in the film as well, Isaac Gonzalez was in the film, but I didn't know anything about it and what it's going to be, and that's kind of where I came in. The biggest entry point for me is Michael Bay. I have a massive soft spot for his films. I always rave about the cinema experience. I think with Michael Bay, you know what you're going to get, but you can switch your brain off, you can have some fun, you can go on a Friday night, chill out, and you know you're going to get entertained. And I was entertained for this. I'm just going to say that again. Now, I did do a double bill with X, the horror film, which I did enjoy. There won't be a review for that one though, but I had a lot of fun with that. But doing Ambulance after was honestly remarkable. So much fun to be had, and you might be wondering, obviously, just going to keep saying he liked it. What differed about this film compared to other Michael Bay films is it felt, I mean, not like a Transformers film obviously, but it actually felt like I was watching an action film. It felt like I was seeing something slightly different to what I've seen before. Yes, you get the American flag. You're going to get explosions in a new style, which I have to really talk about. I'm sure other people have. Is the drones. Never in my life have I seen so many drones being spun around for filming. I've got no idea why. They'll like dramatically shoot up a skyscraper, turn around, come back down, and we'll see some. And it is incredible. I don't know why it works. It probably doesn't work to some. I just loved how over the top and insane this film is, and you know, going over the premise for this film is almost as simple as it's going to get. There's a bank heist that goes wrong, and these people have had to escape in an ambulance. That's the core. That's all I'm going to really say about the plot, because it is that for 2 hours and 10 minutes, if I'm being honest. And if I'm going to kick something like the cast, you've got Jake Gyllenhaal, who is, I mean, Jake Gyllenhaal, he's one of the most consistent actors where I can say he's always superb. He never does a duff performance or a duff role, and in this, you know, Jake Gyllenhaal and Michael Bay, I don't know if that was a combo people saw coming, but it was remarkable to see him in this. I thought he sort of tapped into it really well. It was really interesting seeing him in this film. I felt he's playing not like Nightcrawler, but in a very similar, this sort of crazy person that's so engrossed within his act, and Jake Gyllenhaal is very good at those kind of performances where he's sort of missed in on this character and what this character is like, all his little attributes that make him, and I thought Jake Gyllenhaal was superb. But I've got to talk about Yahya Abdul-Mateen, who I thought was absolutely incredible in this film. I think I've seen him in a few other things before, obviously The Matrix, I think in December was the big one. I didn't see the Oscar film last year, I know that Tate covered that one, but this was a performance where I saw action leading man. I thought he was superb in this. He plays a Marine. He is the adopted brother of Jake Gyllenhaal in this. For those that are wondering why they keep calling them brothers, it's their brothers, and it's really reinforced in quite a cool way. Actually, they've got a really good relationship throughout, but he's the core centerpiece, the emotional character, the character going in line with the character you want to follow, and I thought he handled it superbly. And again, this being a film that is essentially set in an ambulance is just very remarkable how much of it they were able to film, and obviously the fact it still works as a Michael Bay film is within itself. And then we've got Isaac Gonzalez as well, who plays, I don't know what the official term would be. I mean, over here it would be like an ambulance driver or something, but she's very much caught up in the act and using a hostage situation throughout the film. So those three, I think, it's superb chemistry, and they are the core of this film. Without these, the film won't work. Now, what you do get in very traditional Michael Bay sense, whether this is a good thing or a bad thing, you do get a lot of supporting cast. Obviously, I've jumped Transformers, I always do. You get like Agent Simmons, this government op that pops up. He's kind of comedy relief, but kind of trying to be serious at the same time. Made it like a Muppet quite a bit. Michael Bay's always been very good at stuff like that, and we do get that in this film with a few other sort of character actors that do appear. They bring a bit of character, there's a bit of liveliness, some jokes, some not so jokes, and I just thought it was a really sort of fun way to divert from the fact that they're just driving literally around LA in an ambulance for 2 hours, and the film is a 2-hour chase. Now, there's a review going up on Tuesday for Duel for the Steven Spielberg retrospective that was pre-recorded before this one, but that is almost a very similar film. It's essentially a 90-minute car chase, and obviously we'll speak in the past about films like Mad Max Fury Road, all that kind of stuff. I think there's a hidden art to shooting action like this, but to have these kind of films where it is in this environment based, there's a film Locke, if you've seen it, by Tom Hardy, which is a drama set in a car. I think it's a very, very, it's not even a genre, but it is a storytelling design. It's fundamentally something quite interesting, and this film delivers on that. And again, as I kept saying, it's an action film. You can't go into this expecting, a drama of some kind or some really deep bond. This is going to bring you in. It is like a heist on steroids. I mean, the film actually compared to, I tweeted, was this is like Good Time on Steroids by Rob Pattinson. A lot of people have spoke about Heat. A few people have also spoke about Speed. And I've not seen Speed. I have obviously seen Heat. I love Heat, but I definitely watched this and thought this is literally Good Time on Steroids. And one of the things that completely blew my mind is the budget for this film. Now, I don't normally talk about budgets with releases because it's such a boring topic, but this cost $40 million. I was watching this and thought it would be at least 200 or 100 million, but to see this at $40 million completely blew my mind. I absolutely loved the fact it was a smaller budget. It was shot during COVID. I mean, it's not a great thing, obviously, with the pandemic, obviously, but the fact they're able to make this kind of film that feels big in scale in such a small city. The whole film is set in LA, and I imagine if you are from the States or if you've been there, you'll spot a lot of recognisable places. I think a lot of people are comparing this to Grand Theft Auto as well. I was watching that thinking the same. It's like a 5-star get away from the police type thing. It's just amazing to see the story unfold on screen, and it isn't just action. There is obviously drama, there are character moments, and I think with the main trio that they do deliver on that, they have this chemistry that works, and you certainly align with some of the characters, not all of them obviously, unless you're sort of psychopath, and it's really interesting to see how the story progresses and where the resolution points are in this film. But I'm going to talk about one of the things I didn't enjoy so much, which I was gutted about, is actually the soundtrack. Lorne Balfe did this, who did Mission... I mean, he's done so many great things. I think he's worked on The Crown a lot. He's done Mission Impossible 7, which is one of my favourite scores. And when I was watching the film, I just kept thinking, like, I feel like this film needed someone like Ludwig Göransson. It's not because I've seen Tenet, I love Tenet, but I think you needed I don't want to even say Hans Zimmer, that's unfair, because Lorne Balfe's sort of part of the same company they all work for and stuff, but the score really didn't do a lot for me, and I think if this film had a perfect score, this would straight away be like instant classic territory. Now, this film is going to be a cult film, without a shadow of a doubt. I think everyone that watches this is going to have this insane experience, but I just felt the soundtrack was missing, and if this film had a perfect soundtrack, it would just honestly have took it so much further. You know, you think of Mad Max Fury Road, the car chase, what you think of Junkie XL score that goes with it, and I just felt that this film deserved a soundtrack equal to that to demonstrate the madness, and I just don't think we ever got enough from it, and that's my biggest critique of the film. If you want to see me talk about action, you know, yes, there's some CGI stuff. We get an amazing shot, one of the best shots of the year, because it's so ridiculous. You've got an ambulance driving in slow-mo across the water, I think on the LA River, the one you also know from Greece and every other thing. Helicopters at ground level flying to chase them with Jake Gyllenhaal sticking out an ambulance with a gun. That image in your head, if you don't know this in a trailer, I've not seen the trailers, it will be a GIF I'm sure, that epitomises this film. The action I really enjoyed, it differed as well, and like every sort of chase film, you need to have those breaks to bring in the character development, and I feel that it delivered with that. If it didn't have those moments, the car chase would get boring, and at no point to me did I just sit here thinking, I need this film to finish. It got towards the end and you think, okay, it's backing up now, and it was just a 2 hour joy. I'm going to be absolutely honest. It was amazing to watch, seeing it in IMAX as well, you know, the sound design for a start against so many other things. It just has to be seen on a big screen. It wouldn't compare to watching this at home. So, you know, if you're watching this in the UK and you're curious about this film, I'm going to 100% recommend it. Go and see it. An absolute blast watching this. And if you're in the States debating what films to watch, obviously we'll have reviews out for Sonic and Grindelwald in the next couple of weeks. So, you know, I'll be able to let you know what are the best early April ones to have. Obviously, everyone's building up to Doctor Strange in May. But there are some mega films out, and the fact, again, this film is on a 40 million budget completely surprised me. I really hope people check it out. I know that, you know, Michael Bay is a meme within itself, but honestly with this film it felt something different. It felt like some of his older work, and it was really lovely to sort of get away, as much as I don't mind them, the Transformers films, to see something new from him. And obviously Six Underground and Netflix film, so I don't even want to really get into that too much. But that being said, that's going to round up my review for Ambulance. Please do comment your thoughts below. As I said, there's a lot of things happening on the channel, a lot of new videos of other things. If you like car films, do check out the Jewel review that's going up on Tuesday. I'm joined with Tom Woods on that one, so please do subscribe. Starting the Steven Spielberg retrospective every single Tuesday for the next 34 weeks. There's going to be a Spielberg review on the channel. Obviously Oscars tomorrow, as I said, me and Ted are going to be doing a live stream in the morning, so 12:50am Monday UK time. Obviously the clock's changing as well, so all that kind of stuff will kick off, but there's a lot of things happening and I'd love to get involved, so please do hit the subscribe button, do comment your thoughts, and if you are looking forward to it, do let me know. And obviously our social medias as well, that's Twitter at cinema_savvy, Facebook and letterboxd.com/cinemasavvy, a link to TeePublic in that description below. And as I said, there's a lot of things happening. It's exciting to get going towards them, and you know, to kickstart summer blockbuster season, nothing of a little bit of Bayhem. So thank you all for watching. Be sure to join us on the next one, and I'll see you there. Take care.